Royal Roads University acknowledges that the campus is located on the traditional lands of the Esquimalt and Songhees ancestors and families. It is with gratitude that we now learn and work here, where the past, present, and future of Indigenous and non-Indigenous students, faculty, and staff come together. So today's session is the Doctor of Business Administration, and we are joined here by Dr. Hassan Wafai, and he's the program head. And my name is Imara Angus, and I am an education advisor. Behind the scenes, we also have Tracy Summers here supporting. She's our enrollment specialist. We have Manuela, we have Selena, and we have a few other people. So there's lots of people behind the scenes supporting this. So if you do have any questions, pop them in the chat. We'll do our best to get to them. And today's agenda is starting with get to know one another. So we're on that right now. Then we're going to continue into a brief overview of the Royal Roads University experience. Program-specific information, we'll talk about the application process and requirements, and questions throughout, so pop them in the chat. So here at Royal Roads University, we're all about first names first. And you can probably already see that. We really address people by their first names, and your first name is important to us because it's all about your journey. You're more than just a student number here, and your experience is very important to us. And we believe in learning together forever. So that idea of just that ongoing learning, that cohort, that network, and just continued learning throughout your life. And we also do believe that life is an education and that everyone here comes from a different journey, has different experiences. And here is where we want everybody to join together. So we understand that life is an education. And you all have very unique paths that lead you to Royal Roads University. And here at Royal Roads, it's our real world classroom. So that idea that there's no division between work and learning and education, it's all integrated, it's all together. And it's a very hands-on learning experience, as we'll be talking about throughout today's session. At Royal Roads University, we're also a changemaker institution. So we're an Ashoka U. And what that means is we approach education with an innovative approach, and we believe in preparing students as they address the world's problems. And you might recognize our space here. So this is Royal Roads University. At the top left, you can see Hatley Castle. This is a castle that's featured in some films. So actually give me a thumbs up if you recognize Hatley Castle from films such as X-Men or Deadpool. You might recognize it. And if you don't recognize it, I highly recommend watching those films later to see if you can see Hatley Castle in them. On the top right is a bridge in our Japanese garden. So we have a beautiful garden here on campus. We actually have a beautiful campus filled with trails for hiking, walking. On the bottom left, you can see the lagoon. So we're actually right on Esquimalt Lagoon, which overlooks the ocean. So we're in a beautiful space, and it's an amazing space to walk outside and spend time outside as well. And here at Royal Roads University, we've been teaching online learning for over 25 years. And now I'm so pleased to invite up Dr. Hassan Wafai, who is going to speak about the DBA program. Welcome.
Amara, thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction, and hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today, talking about Doctor of Business Administration, the DBA program. I'm very excited to talk about the program and addressing any question that you may have. So the Doctor of Business Administration, DBA program at Royal Road, it's a research-intensive degree oriented to applied business management research. When we say as research-intensive, they are doctorates that are course-based, and there are other doctorates that are research-intensive. DBA program at Royal Road University, it's is a research-based doctoral degree. It has a blended design that allow professionals working full-time to complete their degree without putting their work on hold. A key feature of the degree that it integrates the strength of a traditional conventional PhD with the focus of applied PhD. This is what we call hybrid design. So allow me to repeat the term hybrid design. It's the combination of the rigor of a conventional PhD with the applied focus and orientation of applied practice-oriented degree. So DBA, this is why we say DBA. It focuses on applied research. Next slide, Amara, if you don't mind. Thank you, Amara. So program at a glance is a 60 credits program, very much like any other doctorate. It has a hybrid design. That's what we said, hybrid design. That is a combination of conventional PhD and practice-oriented doctorate. It focuses on knowledge production. So students at the end of the degree, they will produce knowledge that is actionable and relevant. They will make contribution to human knowledge, to literature, and to practice. A program length, it's 4 to 7 years. Students are expected to finish within, or I would say around 4 years, but it is totally fine if the students need more time to complete their degree. Another thing, it's a blended program that is a combination of online learning and on-campus residencies. The student will have 3 residencies during their degree. I'm going to explain a little bit more about the residencies things in the next slide. And it's a cohort base that is very unique. I'm sure you heard from other colleagues who did their PhD. PhD, it's a very individual degree. You work by yourself, you interact with your supervisor, with your supervisory committee only. But here at Royal Road, we're trying to build like a network, a safety network for students. This safety network is about students, other doctorate students who work with him or her. It's a competency-based program. We're going to talk a little bit about the competency approach that we adopted in the program. Yeah, next slide, Amara. Thank you. And this is the overall structure of the degree. So the degree consists of 3 phases. The first phase is 1 year, and you can see at the top of the page, this is a 1 year phase called foundations phase. So a student will have 6 courses in the first year. These courses are designed for you to get you prepared to start your research. Once you finish the courses, you start the second phase. And in the second phase, which we call it research preparation. So you prepare your research, you submit your formal proposal, you get your committee together, and you start executing your research. The third phase, executing and writing phase, where you start collecting data, analyzing data, and writing up. This normally takes 2 years. So in total, you can see 4 years. Some students will need less, some students need more. That's totally fine. You will see here we have 3 residencies, and the residencies here are in different colors. They are not blue. I think they are greenish kind of things. So it's the MGMTA and MGMTP. You can see the pointer, and the MGMTC. These are 3 residencies. The residency, this is on-campus experience. So you will come to Royal Road University in Victoria. It's a beautiful, you enjoy the weather, you enjoy the beautiful atmosphere here in Victoria for 2 weeks. It's very intensive, and this is the first residency, MGMTA. The second residency is 1 week, and the third residency is also 1 week. Next slide. So what you will see on our website, this schedule, and this schedule is a little bit more detailed from the one I just explained. So in this schedule, you see the first year, year one, the foundation year, and that is the year that will start, foundation year that will start in January 2022. The year one foundation year, it has the courses listed. So MGMT 700 course, MGMTA 705, 710, and so on. So you will have 6 courses in the first year. Again, year one, foundation phase or foundation year. And then you will see year two, after year one, year two research preparation phase that will start in 2023. And you will see certain milestone, candidacy exam, and a proposal stage. And year 3 and 4 execution and writing phase 2024 to 2025. Next slide, please. So to summarize, you will have 6 courses, that is during the first year, the foundation year. 2 of these courses are about the development of management thoughts and practices. 3 courses are about research design, and 1 directed reading course, what we call self-study course, which is an opportunity for you to dive deep into your research area. You will work with 1 instructor to start diving into your research area. So overall, 6 courses. These 6 courses are designed again to help you prepare to start your research. And you also would like to highlight again the 3 residencies. The first residency, it's 2 weeks. The second residency is 1 week. And the third residency, it's 1 week. These residencies are about workshops. So students will come here, intensive time, to Royal Road. They will come to Royal Road. They will attend workshops, disciplinary, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, knowledge-intensive workshops. When we say disciplinary, that's mean in specific area, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinaries, where you will have opportunity to comment on other research that are not necessarily in your area of research. Also, you will have the opportunity to improve your skills, writing skills, research skills. You meet professionals from industry, and also other faculty members. Next slide, thank you. So key milestones over the course of the program, there are certain milestones that that I would like to highlight here. First, dissertation supervisory committee. When you apply to the program, you don't need to nominate a supervisor. And over the first year, you wouldn't have a supervisor. You will do coursework. Unlike other conventional PhD programs, where you cannot start PhD program unless you have a supervisor. But for us, we said, it's okay if you don't have a supervisor. It's okay if you're not aware who will be the person who could help you. That's totally fine. So the first year, you will do your courses. Toward the end of the first year, we will start the conversation around who will be your supervisor and the supervisory committee as well. So around early in the second year, which is the research preparation phase, you will have a supervisory committee that is in place to help you prepare and execute your research. This is a key milestone, and we will start working toward that milestone sometime toward the I would say like after 6 months in the program. We will start talking about who will be your supervisors and advisors. Comprehensive exam, candidacy exam, is another big milestone. The comprehensive, or what we call it here, candidacy exam, it's scheduled normally within 6 months after you finish your coursework. So after you finish your coursework, that's a year one, within a 6 months after you finish your coursework, you will advance to do the candidacy exam. The candidacy exam designed around 2 parts, the written exam and the oral exam. The written exam is about a report you submit it to your supervisory committee. Supervisory committee will provide comments and send it back to you. The oral part of the candidacy exam, where the opportunity to discuss that report with your supervisory committee. So although it has a title, it has a name exam, I will say it is an opportunity for you to discuss your research with your supervisory committee. The third big milestone is dissertation proposal, the formal proposal. The formal proposal is scheduled normally after you complete the candidacy exam. You will work toward submitting your formal proposal. Now, you may know that in order to be accepted in the program, you need to have what we call it initial proposal, the 2 to 5 page proposal. That is a requirement admission requirement. That is initial proposal. Almost a year and maybe a year and a half almost after you submit that initial proposal, you will submit the formal proposal. So over this time, over the first year almost, and then toward also the second year, you'll have opportunity to change the initial proposal, to even tweak it, to and perhaps you want to change the topic as well. And once the proposal is approved, you will execute the research with your supervisory committee and submit your dissertation. And the big milestone, it is the dissertation defense, when you defend your dissertation, and also an opportunity for you to discuss your research and findings from that research. Next slide, please. There you go. So we talked about competencies. The program designed around certain competencies. So you will learn, you will have the ability and opportunity to improve your competencies in certain area. The communication, working with other, critical thinking, global thinking, and problem solving. More importantly, the core competency domains are around ability to build rigorous, intensive, knowledge base, i.e. the ability to locate and critique a certain body of knowledge, ability to build applied research, design applied research that addresses certain problem, the ability to reflect on experience, also the ability to impact professional practices. So through your research, you will be doing all that. You will be building knowledge base, you will be designing a research, you will have opportunity to reflect on your own learning, on your own practice, and also to impact a professional practice within your industry. Next slide, please. So who are our students? Who are the DBA students? That's maybe it's an important question for us to always highlight this question. It is that we're trying to attract students that really make impacts or they inspire to lead in their field or sector. So the key point here for us in defining who DBA students are, it's about working professionals. So this program is designed for people who have experience, have intensive, rich experience. The admission requirement, a minimum of 7 years of experience, 5 of which are at management level. So we are trying to attract working professionals who aspire to be leaders in their field or sector, who can and want to independently develop original impactful research on the practice of management and normally work full-time. As I noted, the program is designed to in the way that you don't need to stop your work to complete the program. You can complete your doctorate while you're working full-time. So full-time students are, actually, most of our students are working full-time right now. Also, part of the admission is to have a relevant master degree. When we say relevant master degree, I mean business degree is certainly a relevant master degree, but you could have a master degree that's not in business, but still relevant. For example, if you're doing research in healthcare and you have a master in, let's say, healthcare, that's considered a relevant master degree. Our students coming from all walks of life, they represent public, private sector, university, faculty, private consultant, lifetime researchers. I really invite you to have a quick look at our website and look at the bios of our student. It gives you really good idea who the DBA students are. Next slide, please, Amara. Thank you. This is one of the questions that we always receive about funding. The most common source of fund is self-funding, and we always recommend that students who are considering the DBA program to make sure that they have sufficient fund, at least for the first year. The first year, because in the first year, even if you wanted to have external fund, most of the students will spend the first year building their proposal, working on their proposal that will enable them to apply to get external fund. So even if you are planning to get external fund, you still need to consider self-funding in the first year. Internally, we also have some limited internal program fundings, internal funds. It's highly competitive, but I wouldn't consider it as a key source of funding that I will build on it. It will be certainly, it will help, but wouldn't be sufficient. Students normally seek external funds, and there are really many opportunities for doctoral students to explore. I'm highlighting here two very common funding opportunities at doctoral level. That's a SHIRC and MITACS. For more information about all funding opportunities, I will advise you to have a look at our website, Royal Road Financial Aid website. There's all information you need about all funding opportunities. Now, it is very common for doctoral students to get funded. For example, the first cohort, now they are in their second year, almost, I will say, 40 to 50% of the students are fully funded. And the other 50%, they are self-funded, but that's what they want. It's not that they are trying to seek external funds. For those students who really want external fund, most of the time they are able to get that fund. But it's, of course, this require works. To submit application, to write your proposal, and to try different funding opportunities, because all these funding opportunities are very competitive. So every opportunity has different structure, different procedures, and different application deadline to consider. So I encourage you to look at our website, Royal Road Financial Aid website. And if you have a question, please don't hesitate to send them an email. They are fantastic. They help students and they help applicants to apply and to identify right funding opportunities. Next slide, Emma. Thank you. Here, I'm highlighting one of these funding opportunities, MITACS Accelerate. Why I'm highlighting MITACS Accelerate? MITACS Accelerate is a very common, I think many of our doctoral students have MITACS Accelerate funds. It's still competitive, but less competitive compared to SHERC, for example. It's so as I note, each funding program has its own way to work, and you will need to familiarize yourself with the program procedures and program structure, requirements, and so on. So for example, in MITACS Accelerate, it's a $15,000 for each 4-month internship. So basically, what you will do, you will apply up to, as a doctoral student, you will do 7 rounds of internship. That is around, that's up to $120,000 We have one student get the 7 round of internship. That's $120,000. That's even more than what she needed actually for the tuition. So she can use the extra money to support her disseminating her research findings through conferences and papers and so on. For MITACS Accelerate, eligibility requirements are very flexible. You will need to be, of course, a full-time graduate student at a Canadian university. It opens for Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and also for international students. Here, I would like to highlight this particular opportunity is available for students. That means you cannot apply before you get admitted to the program. This is, for example, what I was trying to say, that you will need to be in the program, you will need to start your degree in order to be eligible to apply to MITACS Accelerate. That means you need to have some resources in order to get started in the program before you can apply to MITACS Accelerate, which is again a very good opportunity. I think it's available for all academic disciplines, and there's no minimum GPA requirement. This is also another important point. Next slide, please. Here, for MITACS Accelerate, you will need to have a partner organization that supports your research. The partner organization will pay $7,500. The government will pay another $7,500 under MITACS Accelerate program. So the eligible organizations can be for-profit, can be non-for-profit corporation working in Canada, can be also international organization. Once you are preparing your application, we will work with you. We will connect you to the right people to double check the eligibility of organizations that you are adding to your application. There is no deadline. It's a rolling admission. It's another important features for MITACS Accelerate. I'm highlighting one of the most popular opportunity for doctoral student to apply. We have again really many doctoral students who applied to MITACS Accelerate. Many of them were able to get funds through MITACS Accelerate. I think this is, yeah. This is my last slide, but let me just here say the key dates. Okay, here you go. How to apply. This is when I turn it back to Imara. Thank you.
Thank you, Hassan. Let's all use our reactions function and give him a round of applause. And my apologies for clicking the slides. I was too excited to start speaking about how to apply, so I just jumped ahead a few slides. Wonderful. Well, I'm going to be speaking about how to apply. So as Hassan was speaking about earlier, for the admissions, you do require a relevant master's degree from a recognized university, and normally with a minimum BGPA, and normally a minimum of at least 7 years of relevant full-time work experience. And as mentioned earlier, there needs to be around 5 years at a management level with increasing levels of responsibility. And the DAPA program does have competitive admission. So some key dates, these are important to jot down, and they're also on our website too. All of this information is on the website, so always check there for the most up-to-date info. But the next intake for the DBA is on January 4th, 2022, and the application deadline is coming up really soon. It is September 4th, 2021. So how to apply, this is important information. So there's an online application process. So you're going to create an account on Royal Roads University's website, and you're going to pay a fee of $126.28, and that's going to start the application process. With your application, the supporting documents that you do need are official transcripts. So what we mean by official transcripts are submission of transcripts from all post-secondary education currently or previously attended. And it's considered official if it's submitted by the registrar or recognized authority in the institution's original sealed envelope. Right now, with the current COVID situation, we do accept an email of your official transcript from the institution directly. And there's more information and the contact information on the website for these supporting documents. I'm sure our advisors have popped that in the chat there. In addition to the transcript, you also are required to submit a detailed resume. And a detailed resume, this is beyond the resume that you would maybe submit for an application for a job. It's very detailed. We want to get to know you a bit better through this resume. So things that you want to include are your education and professional experience in detail. Also include your job progression, and include any voluntary or unpaid work, any professional memberships or affiliations that you're part of, and any other information that you feel is relevant that we should know about. This is the place to add is your detailed resume, and also your experience with information technology, training, that kind of experience. Please include that in your detailed resume. As well, you will need to submit an initial proposal. And we actually have a workshop next week, and I'll include a bit more details about that we're going to dive into what that actually looks like. So I'm going to get Selena to pop the link to the workshop registration page in the chat. We invite everybody here to come, and we can really dig into what that initial proposal will look like. We also ask that you submit 3 letters of reference. So that there's information on our website about what that looks like. But basically the letters of reference will attest to your intellectual curiosity, your ability to conduct research, your motivation to complete the DBA program. And ideally 2 of these letters should be from individuals who are qualified to speak specifically to your academic qualifications and your ability to conduct research at the doctoral level. And we also may request a writing sample to further understand your ability to write. So that may be requested, and that could include a thesis chapter, an academic or professional report or publication. Just want to really get the full picture of who you are as an individual and your experience. And there may also be an interview as well. And we are here to answer questions along the way. I know this is can be a bit of a daunting process applying for a program. I completely understand. I recently applied for a program at Royal Roads University, and I went through this process myself, and not for the DBA, but for another program. And I understand that there's a lot of pieces that you have to submit. So we're here to support you along the way. So don't hesitate to reach out to our enrollment advisors if you have questions about any of this information, and our website's a really helpful resource. Financial aid. So we spoke about this a bit earlier, but here are the resources. You can always connect with financial aid and they can support you answering any questions you have about funding. And application support. So as I mentioned, our enrollment advisors are here to help. And here is their information. So if you're at that point, you're ready to take the next step. You can connect with an enrollment advisor. You can send them an email. The top contact is for domestic students, and then the bottom contact is if you're an international student. And this is the workshop that we'd love to see you all attend. So it's next Tuesday, July 20th, from 8:30 to 10 a.m. Pacific time. So I guess it reflects the time that we are at now. And we're going to really dive deeper into what the research proposal looks like. So I encourage everybody to register. This isn't on our website. We keep it as a private event. So we keep it for people who have attended a DBA webinar or have watched a recording. So make sure to copy down this link now. I'll also include it in the follow-up email so that you can register that way too. And now we're going to go into our questions and answer period. So you're welcome to pop any questions in the chat. I know that people have been doing that already. And Hassan, I welcome you back in.
Thank you, Imara. Thank you. Just I saw a question from Jim Rahman, and Jim is asking us around. Okay, here we go. What is the difference between a DBA and PhD, especially within academia? Very important question. Both of them doctorate. Both of them 60 credit. PhD is more academic. I did PhD program. It's what we call the conventional doctorate. So a PhD designed to produce faculty members. People works in academia. That's a design of a PhD program. So you will be very much pressed on publishing and digging into the literature. That's the design of a PhD. So it's a conventional doctorate, but PhD will not prepare graduates to work beyond academia. This is one of the main reasons why we designed the DBA program, which is also a common. I mean, we're not proposing a degree that is not common. It is also common. DBA, it's a very well-known brand as a degree. It's a doctorate. But DBA prepares you for academic jobs, but also prepares you beyond academia. So, and that is the hybrid design. So the hybrid design, you are still required to meet the academic standards of a PhD, that is to produce a dissertation that adds value to the literature and very specifically to contribute to the literature. But at the same time, in the DBA, you will also need to demonstrate your ability to contribute to practice. And that way, your degree will prepare you to careers, not only within academia, but beyond academia. So for those who would like to have more opportunity to work beyond academia, I will say DBA program, it's better for them. For those who would like to keep their job while doing their doctorate, I feel this is the right degree. While in a PhD program, you cannot keep your job while doing a PhD, because PhD normally a full-time program. DBA is a full-time, but the design of a PhD, it's less likely being able to really keep your job while doing your doctorate. It is less likely. So these are some of the differences between DBA and PhD. Next week, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this, discussing some of the differences between PhD and DBA. But for now, hope that will answer the question. The second question Jim has is advice for identifying supervisors to help prospect understand whether the research activities within an institution align with prospects research interest. Thank you. It's important. Another important question. As I said, you do not need to have a supervisor to get admitted to the program. All what you need to have a valid proposal. The proposal that you will submit as part of your admission application package, it's a key component. This is why we say it's important to spend time preparing for that proposal. And we have that next week webinar to talk more about how to write a proposal, what's need to be done in order to have a valid, a good, solid proposal, doctoral proposal. Back to the question, you don't need to have a supervisor to start the program. Now, at Royal Road, you could, once you will start, perhaps almost toward the end of the first year, when we will start looking for supervisors, we can identify supervisors within Royal Road or a supervisor external to Royal Road University. So you are not limited to faculty members within Royal Road. We still can identify a supervisor from outside Royal Road to supervise your research. And that gives us and you a lot of flexibility in nominating the right supervisor for you to support you. Hope, Jim, I addressed the question, and if not, please let me know and ask a follow-up question. And I can see here another question from Rajeshwari. Can I submit the application with WES assessment only? I will defer that question to Tracy. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. I hope I was able to address the questions, and if not, please let me know. Okay.
I see a question here from Ashish, if that we can allow our participants to unmute to ask questions, and we can absolutely do that. So Ashish, if you're ready, I will go down and I will give you permission to unmute. I just have to press a few buttons. So give me one moment and then you're welcome to ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, hi, Amara. And hello, Dr. Wafai. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful presentation, very informative. I'm already a student at RRU currently doing my master's. So I have a few questions actually. And so my first question is, I'm taking the top-down approach. I want to understand the end application of this DBA. I mean, how can we visualize ourselves after the completion of DBA? Where are we exactly working? What position can we work? And how can we use this degree actually? I understand PhDs for the academia, and a lot of my friends who have become professors in the university where they did their PhDs from. So I also understand that DBA includes both. One can either enter the academia or one can also use it maybe further in the real business world. So I personally come from a business family. I've been running my business for the last 20 years. And so I'm just thinking, how can I use this degree later on after graduating from the DBA?
Thank you. A very important question. I really appreciate that. Well, the DBA is designed to give opportunities for graduates to build their own brand as a subject matter expert. So if you're planning to dive deep into specific topic and you would like to be a subject matter expert in this topic, DBA program, it's a right program for you. Where when I say subject matter expert, that means your impact goes beyond the specific organization. It goes to the industry. So you are able to influence common practices, routines, and specific field industry through your research. I mean, yes, you could see many faculty members in academia, they have DBA programs, and that is sufficient for them. But also you could see a lot of professionals in the industry with DBA programs, and those are really making impact in their field or industry. So DBA program is designed, as you noted, it's designed to prepare you beyond academia to job in the industry. Now, is there a specific career path that DBA will offer? I will say no. It's not about specific career path. It's not about, you want to be an engineer, or DBA is the right thing for you. No, if you want to be CEO, DBA is the right for you. It's not like this. It gives you the opportunity to be subject matter expert, whether you are an engineer, whether you are a CEO, whether you are a consultant or a government employee. You are digging deep in a certain subject. You would be the owner of this subject. You would publish in this subject. You will speak about this subject in conferences, and you will interact with other researchers who are doing the same, who are also doing work in your area of expertise. So it is mainly about being a subject matter expert in a specific field or industry, and helping you to make a sustained impact in your field. Did I answer the question? Kind of. Oh, yeah. Yes, thank you, sir. How much value does it actually add to our professional life? Well, that's I'm not sure if I'm able to quantify values here. I believe it's a very valuable, if that's what you want. If that's what you wanted to have, if you wanted to have that expertise, it's very valuable. If you are in the position to influence your sector, if you are in the position to lead change in your sector, to make positive impact, I think this is very, very valuable. Very, very valuable. I'm not sure how to quantify that. I'm not sure anyone could quantify that or should quantify that. That's something you will decide on. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the question. Any other question?
I have some other questions that people direct message to me. So one of the questions is if you could speak more about the reference letter, and do you need a letter of reference from an employer?
What we need 3 reference letters, 2 from academics and 1 from the industry. Reference letter needs to speak about your ability to do research, to be critical. We understand that's not always possible. Employer wouldn't speak about your ability to do research, but they will speak about other qualities as well, other relevant qualities. But academics will be able to speak about your potentials to do research, to be critical, to challenge status quo, challenge basic assumptions, to your intellectual curiosity. These are the areas I will say that academics will highlight, and this is why we really need reference letter from academics. Now, in certain situations, we understand that's not always possible. If it's not possible, please contact us. Let us know, and we will certainly work out some other way with you to deal with any situation you may deal with.
And another question I had is, how many people are in each DBA cohort?
We have the cohort. The first cohort is a 12 student. Second cohort is currently 16 student, and we will not go beyond the ACE numbers. I think the maximum we could theoretically have 18, but the first cohort 12 and the second cohort 16. Now, when we say that a maximum, that does not represent the number of applicants. In the first cohort, we had around 60 applicants, and we were able to select 12 out of 60 applicants. The second intake, we had 90 applicants, and we were able to select 16 out of 90 applicants.
And then I see a follow-up question to kind of unpack a bit more. So how is the DBA program progressing, evolving with the initial 2 cohorts? And can you speak to your retention rates or rate?
Yeah, so the 2 courses are doing great. And we are happy to connect you with students. For those who are really interested in getting into the program, we connect you to the student, talk with them. I invite you to go to our website. There's student bios, and you let us know if you were interested to talk, let's say, with Benjamin. Benjamin, he is a supply chain professional, or with Bell. Bell is a senior leader in the government. And they will be really they will welcome to talk with prospect colleagues who are interested in joining the program. So I think the best feedback you get from students in the program right now. The program is going so well, and students are doing very well. Actually, we're very, very impressed by their progress. We start to see publication going out. We start to see their impact. Many of our students were able to start the journey of building their own currency as subject matter expert. They presented in conferences. They got a scholarship. They start that interesting journey of being impactful. Hopefully that addressed the question. I see here. Retention is 100 for both at this point. Yes, sir. Yes.
You can see that we have DBA prospects in the room. They're like, okay, let's quantify this. Let's get some percentage.
Perhaps next time we will really need to have a prospect, one of our colleagues joining us, talk a little bit more about this. I will say yes, 100%, but to be more precise, we have 2 students who decided to defer, and that is for personal reasons. So, and that is something I would like to highlight here. We understand that sometimes life gets in the way. For any reason, a student couldn't continue. So that's totally fine. We can defer. The student can take some time off to deal with whatever situation he or she is having, and then they will come back to the program. So we have 2 cases where students decided to defer for personal circumstances, and that's totally fine.
Okay, and I know we're coming to the end of today's session, but we have one more question that we'll be able to address today, and it's, can you throw some light on the program fees, please? So tuition.
Exact fees, I don't recall the exact number, but it's around $87,000. That is over 4 years. So it's not a lump sum you pay at the start of the program. So you pay that over 4 years. So it's around 20 something per year. Again, most of our most doctoral students, not just our doctoral students, most doctoral students are able to get funds during their study. So they end up paying far less than that number. And some of them really get funds more than the tuition itself. And here you go, 89.494, very particular. Yeah, okay, very specific number. There you go. Okay,
We like our specific numbers.
Yeah, and that's over 4 years. That's over 4 years. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And Hassan, is there anything else you want to share with everyone in the room today? Any passing insight or any final words?
Wanted to say one thing here. We understand and we acknowledge this is a big investment. It's not about financial investment only. It's an investment in terms of your time. It's an investment in terms of your relationship with family. So it's a big investment. We understand that. And that's why we are here. We're here to tell you this is a program. This is what we have. And we're going to work with you if you are interested. We're going to work with you to develop your proposal. We understand the hesitation. We understand this is something. Am I able to do it? I would say don't make a quick decision. Consult with us. Talk with us. We are here to help you, to support you. Tracy is a fantastic resource. Feel free to contact her. She will provide you all the resources that you may need. Also, Alana, I see Alana in the room. Alana, she is also a fantastic resource. Please feel free to contact her, ask any question you wish. And if you have a question about research, about your own research, what you want to do, please feel free to contact me. I'm also available to help and support.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thank you.
And thank you, Hassan, for all of your knowledge and insight. And thank you to Tracy, Alana, Manuela, Selena, and everyone else behind the scenes supporting today's session. Hope to see you all at next week's research workshop.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Take care.